Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Sistas. This is season 7B, episode 14. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like and also subscribe to this channel, and you can leave your comments below. Now, let's get into this. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Sistas. This is season 7B, episode 14. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like and also subscribe to this channel, and you can leave your comments below. Now, let's get into this. All right, so we start off this episode where we left off. We know that Gary is in the back seat of Jordan's car. He is, I think he just hung up from Jordan, knowing that Gary was in the back seat of the car. So now Gary is doing all of this antagonistic stuff and trying to pick at Jordan the best way he knows how. So he starts talking about, can you really trust Andy? And he's like, what do you mean? Look, I really know this woman, and I know that she's a bunch of trouble. You know, you lived a normal life before this, and now that you've gotten with Andy, it's all this chaos. And you know what? Because of how much I know Andy, it would not shock me if she was the one that knows where Penelope is, playing up all this drama. They probably talked about our sex life with each other, all that good stuff. It's just best you better keep your eye on her and don't put anything past Jordan. And it looks like that's really getting to um, Jordan at this point. So Jordan tries to put up a front, but basically he's really feeding into all this crap. So Gary did warn him, like, don't ever come near me again. Next time it's not going to be that graceful, blah, 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 blah. Jordan goes off, and Hudson comes on, and they just talk about just briefing him on what happened and what the next game steps are. Jordan goes to Andy's home and starts speaking with Andy, but is acting very weird. Andy does sense it. He does ask, "Are you sure you don't know where Penelope is?" "Yes, I'm sure." Blah 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 blah. As Andy would say, "What's going on?" "Nothing." All right, so we are back at the shop. Moving on to Karen and Miss Pam. Um, right now, Karen's waiting on her appointment, and Pam's letting her know that she's about 10 minutes behind. Um, Pam asked again, "Are you okay with her and Aaron doing business together?" She said, "No, I don't care." "But you did care the last episode, Karen. So what is up now?" But I guess after knowing about it, I guess she's okay. But you guys can leave your comments below. Aaron stops by, still looking fine. um, he's got all these colorful bags. But beforehand, Pam says, "Hey, investor, I haven't gotten that transfer of funds as of yet." And he says that I will have my accountant transfer it over today. Then she's trying to pick and be nosy. So is he or she? I think she said he, single and all that good stuff. And he said she, and she's an older lady. Blah 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 blah. So they notice the colorful bags, and um, basically Aaron's about to say he's why he has these bags and what's in the bags, and Karen brushes him off, well, not brushes him off, but carries him over to the office to go speak, because obviously we know that Karen is quite ashamed and has not told a lot of people as to what's going on with her pregnancy. So Aaron gets into the office. They start talking. He says he bought bottles, bibs, all the essentials for babies and all that. And he's also booked a like a Lamaze class. He's got books on postpartum and all this good stuff. He's like, "I know that this is your first baby," and all. And Karen's being very um, overwhelmed and not too receptive of Aaron doing all of this. And basically, he's putting his foot forward in this whole situation. But you could tell that it's like, thanks but no thanks type of situation going on. But don't he look so happy? Well, he did say in the last episode that this is his second chance of being a father. But it looks like, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, it looks like Karen doesn't want Aaron to be the father. Now, this one has no immediate complications, although his life was complicated beforehand, but he wants to step up and be a father. But I don't think Karen wants to be that. So while they're talking, Pam interrupts and comes in and she overhears what's going on. But I don't think that she clearly understands what he was talking about because she was like, "You're stepping up to be twins to, or be a father to babies that's not yours." And Sabrina and Karen was like, "What are you coming in here doing all this?" She was coming to let her know that Karen's appointment is in. So um, basically, at this point, um, Karen's embarrassed and she goes off to her appointment. And basically, Aaron, we'll talk another time. All right. So we move on to the bank. And our good friend Maurice, he's kind of looking at another teller and trying to throw paper. I don't know why. Maurice asks, like, why are you so stuck in the in your office all day? I think I've been hearing some bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. And Sabrina says, no, 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 no. I'm just busy. Da 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 da. Um, we find out that Maurice has already found out the drama concerning the twins. Of course, they talk a little bit about the um, possible baby because she's still doing her IVF, and Maurice has already named the baby girl some name, and I forgot what it was, but basically, he's going to teach her um, everything about fashion and all this good stuff because the mama, she don't know what she's doing. Of course, Maurice gonna find a way to shade Sabrina. So we move on to the airport. Tony shows up at Danny's counter and saying that he overreacted and it wasn't fair that you had to step in to be this emergency babysitter and you didn't really have a chance to baby proof the house. Danny doesn't really receive it because it's like, well, I think you need to find a woman that's able to do all of the things that you want done on the spur of the moment. He hands her a rose. She's like, well, where's the other 11? A dozen of roses. Um, Tony says, okay, we will talk a little bit later. And that was the end of that. Do you think that Karen is being a little bit unreasonable, or does she have more to really uh, say about this whole situation that wasn't really her fault? And she tried to do the best that she could at a rare moment for him, and that she isn't really into this whole childcare situation. I just don't think that you understand the person that you're trying to be with, Tony. In my personal opinion. All right, so we move on to the office. We see Fatima. She's stressing. Andy comes in and was like, "Is it all about Zach?" Da 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 da. She says no. She has a lot of other stuff going on. She's about to get her first grade on her first assignment in law school. They end up finding out she got a D, and she's stressed over that because it's like almost failing, and she needs more time to actually study and all this good stuff. Um, Andy, she says that she's made her decision on what she's going to do concerning Gary. She says it's time to bring his ASS down, and she's going to testify. And Fatima was like, he better be glad that I haven't gotten one of my people to smoke him as of yet. And then in walks Hayden, doing his normal antagonistic stuff to get under people's skin, talking about here's two bitter black women, da 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 da. Of course, they take their shots back and tell him to get out of the office. Um, at that point, Hayden's in his office and he calls Tamara. They're conversing and talking about the day, and you want me to get dinner started. And then, while in the midst of talking, all of a sudden we hear, wrap it up. And it's Gary that's in Hayden's home. Hayden hears it and says, what is that? And then Tamara says, oh, it's nothing. It's just a bad soap opera. Ma'am. Ma'am. Now we can see that Hayden is very suspicious. And it's almost like he don't want to believe what he heard, but he heard what he heard. Now what that means for him and what the next steps are, we don't know as of yet. But that is so disrespectful, Tamara. Like, first y'all started off in this seedy hotel, then you act like you didn't really want to do this, and now it's like you're sexting and you're getting all into it, and you bring this man into your house to have sex. And Gary basically dominates the whole situation, and you guys got to have sex in y'all's bed. You're in Hayden's bed. That's sick and crazy. And you deserve whatever's going to happen to you. I don't even care. All right, so we move on to Jordan. Jordan's having some type of FaceTime um, speech going on for the election. He gets done. Of course, the top half of him has on a blazer with a white shirt, and then at the bottom he has on his shirt, on shorts. His assistant that he hired last season on part A is there. He wants to get information on Hudson. He doesn't say why, but I don't know why you just all of a sudden hired this person and now you're having him do some personal dirt digging or whatever. I wouldn't have done that. But we're back at the bank, and Sabrina and Karen are catching up, and they're going back and forth on how everything's going. But Sabrina's talking about her IVF and her hormones are all over the place. And Sabrina says, "Oh, wait till you actually get pregnant. It's going to be a total flip for how you actually feel." And then Sabrina lets it slip. "Yeah, I'm sure that you are dealing with a lot with having two baby daddies." And Karen said, "Huh? What you talking about?" Um, Sabrina, of course, is a bad liar. So now Karen's going off that she actually knows, and then also that Andy knows. And basically, Danny can't keep her mouth shut. She's the one that pushes Zach to get a paternity test and doing all this stuff. She basically is upset, and she's ready to let Danny have it. All right, back at the Zatima home, or Taylor home, I think it is. Um, Zach is with Michael. They did some things while at the house, and um, I think the only thing that was left for Michael is to have a bath and really waiting on Fatima to actually do it. um, they get to talking about Fatima's grade and it's a D. Zach tries to play it off or tries to talk like it's no big deal, and Fatima's like, that's like one grade level to failing. And I get where Fatima's coming from. And Fatima seems like someone who wants to do well in what she's doing and all that good stuff. Um, she's just kind of stressed out and exhausted from trying to do what needs to be done and just not liking how everything is taking place. Then she finds her $5,000 bag that's been colored. And it looks like Michael colored it, even though Zach's trying to take up for Michael at this point. He says, "Look, I can get it's no big deal. I can just use dishwasher liquid to get all of the uh, stains or coloring out of it." I said, "Oh, that's what you do for a $5,000 bag?" Now, I don't know anything about purses and all that, but if this stuff costs a lot and it's possibly a designer bag, I don't think that I would be trying to, um, let's say, get it out with some dishwashing liquid. I don't know, but we always see those commercials about Dawn dishwashing liquid being able to, or soap, being able to get out the most difficult stains. Fatima's mad, so she walks off. She says, "Don't follow me. I need some time to decompress." All that good stuff. Next, Karen comes by Danny's home, and she calls Danny out about telling her business and all this good stuff. They don't really see eye to eye. They're going back and forth, and really, the end result is that she's pissed and don't be telling my business. And Danny was like, "Well, that's going to be hard because we're in the same sister circle." It's like, Danny, that was still her personal business. I don't think that's right. Whether I like Karen or not, you did tell her business. This girl is really feeling away, and I think at this point, she's deserved some type of, I don't want to say grace, but I do want to say that a little understanding and try to see some things from her perspective too. This is a lot, and it doesn't really look like you guys are on the same page as even being friends or anything. So I don't know what's going to happen, but Karen said we see about about this whole sister circle. I wonder what that means. Is Karen removing herself, or is Danny removing herself? All right. So the next scene we got Fatima. She's out at the bar and she's having a drink, and her bestie Angela comes over, and she basically gives it the lowdown of what all is happening. Angela's solution is get a nanny. Fatima was like, no, I don't want no young hoochie up in there. Da 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 da. Like, I think that it's a best situation because the whole agreement is between her and Zach is he'll take care of Fatima while she's in law school. When he comes home, then she'll take care of Michael. That's not an even exchange because it's like you work, you work, and then got to work some more when you get off. No, you need some chill time and all that. So hire a nanny. So Fatima ends up giving in and says, hold her, not order, but get an older nanny with kitten heels and all that good stuff. So I think Angela has a good idea. This lady, you're trifling. Hayden comes home. He sees her on her phone, and Tamara is basically texting Gary, or sexting Gary. But of course, she just says, I'm just laughing at a meme. Like, you are, ugh. I don't even like Hayden at all, but you are despicable. So, anyways, Hayden and this girl start talking and talking about, it was a rough day at his job, and he thinks he's got to talk to Gary a little bit more because it's becoming to a point where he thinks that he needs to get more dirt on Andy, just to make sure that he, um, um, how can I say this, have the one up over Andy. So Tamara's, I think she said, you want me to cook you dinner, all that good stuff. Hayden says, well, right now, what I really want to eat is you. She starts to climb on top of him, and then she tries to scoot her phone away. And he's like, "Why are you scooting your phone away like that? It seems like you're trying to hide it." She's like, "No, no, no, I'm not trying to hide it." Da 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 da. Um, I promise I'm a different girl. No, you're not. You are trifling something. Whatever, whatever. So she gets totally on top of him, and they start making out. Over at Sabrina and Rich, they are having some sex. It feels really good. He says that he was putting in all the work on her because she said that she was having a bad day. So she was ready to go take a shower and she invited Rich in and he said he'll be right in. Now he's searching all over the bed because he's trying to find his condom. He finds it and it's like on the ground. I'm like, so you didn't know any of that at all? Like, okay. So then he goes into the bathroom after Sabrina was calling him a few times, like, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. We go back to the beauty salon, and Karen has gathered Pam and Sabrina together, and it is to plan for the baby shower. And of course, we don't want any drama. We don't want anything she wants a simple um, baby shower. Now, how many of y'all know that this is not going to be simple or anything? Pam is involved. Come on. This is your first time getting pregnant, girl. As much as you try to make things so under the radar, your friends that you have assigned are not going to make it as um, low key as you think it's going to be. This heifer, she's on the phone with Gary. She done caught feelings over sex that you said that you didn't want to do in the first place. She was so crazy. She thinks that Gary's feeling the same way about her, and he said, "You know what this is? I just want to f and go." He starts talking about her old tired vajayjay. I said, "Well, sir, you was eating it. Like, that's not the read and the shame that you really think it is, because you still want to have sex with her. Like, that is so whack to me as a person. How you gonna down something that you willingly made sure that you um, were a participant in being in? That's just so crazy. Whatever. These two are really ridiculous and crazy. I think Tamara is the most unintelligent out of the whole group. All right, so we move on to Jordan's home. We got Rich and we got um, Tony and of course Jordan. Jordan's on the phone for a few minutes, and then the guys kind of like just hash out the stuff that's going on in their lives. Tony talks about Danny being mad at her, and Rich is like, when is she not mad? Rich talks about the condom falling off, and for a minute he thought that Sabrina was trying to trap him because they start talking about, she's probably fertile and all this good stuff. I'm like, well, how is she? It's like, you're responsible for having the condom on, sir. You mean to tell me that she took it off while you were inside of her? And Jordan was like, so it fell off, so how small is it? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, he didn't get that defensive about it, so I guess it's not as small as probably what we think, but your condom fell off of your body, sir. So what are you talking about, bruh? Whatever. I don't understand, but the guys do leave. His new assistant is talking to Hudson or Gary or whoever, and they're trying to implant a listening device in Jordan's home. And he says, "Is there some type of picture frame with them around?" And he spots it, and yes. So they said, "Put it behind the picture frame." And while he is doing it, Jordan's coming back into the house, and he's saying, "What the hell are you doing?" That was basically the end of the episode. You can tell that there are some things that are getting set up. I don't like how Karen is treating Aaron, and I think Aaron needs to just back off because this woman does not really want you in her life, and she just wants Zach, which is sad. But you better be glad you got two willing fathers that want to step up and be your baby daddies. But I think Karen needs therapy. She can't process this. Her mama can't talk her through this. Her sister circle can't talk her through this. But y'all tell me what you think about everything. Fatima's trying to handle too much. I'm glad Angela gave her something to kind of like take the load off. I think that I wish Fatima would express herself a whole lot more. She's trying not to be in argument mode, but I think that Fatima's being discarded a lot. And I don't think that's cool. We know the Danny and Karen thing is just not doing too well. I don't think that they'll be friends for that much longer, or whatever you want to call as friends, but it's just not going to work out for them. But again, tell me what you think in the comments below. Again, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. Also, subscribe to my channel. And again, leave your comments below. And until the next video, peace.